Broadcasting from Watts Creative Studios and live on Grove Street FM. You're listening to Talk Local to Me. Brought to you by the Central Virginia Business Coalition.
Welcome, everyone. Good afternoon. Welcome to Talk Local to Me. I am so glad to have you guys joining us today. We have a guest that we're going to be talking with about some great programs that they have to offer in our area. Something I'm really excited to let you guys hear about because I think it's kind of a unknown, untapped resource that I think a lot of people will check into. And then I'm also going to be talking to the one and only Woody Watts about some marketing tips kind of to kick off the new year. And I think he's got some things he wants to talk about with Bigfoot and Media Squatch.
Always.
Awesome. So as normally though, we're gonna kick off with some CVABC updates. One thing I do want to mention, you guys will not unfortunately be hearing from my co-host Mike Norfield today. He is not here with me, and I'm sad to report that his father passed away on Monday after a long illness, and so he is with his family today. But I do ask everyone keep him and his family in your prayers, because as you know, he is always here, always giving me heck. But we wish him we wish his family well, and we're really really sorry for their loss. Now, as far as CVABC information goes, I always want to tell people kicking off the new year, you want to get your name out there. People kind of you have your resolutions, you have your goals, and some of those should be for your business. And part of that is getting out there, starting new. A couple of ways you can do that are coming up with a lot of networking events. Guys, don't be scared to network. I think people do get nervous about walking into a room full of people and having to introduce themselves, or, wondering, what they're going to say, or things like that. And it's easy for me to say that because I'm very extroverted, and I could, walk into a room and make like 20 friends in 5 minutes just because that's who I am. But it is a great way to get out there and push your business and meet new people, because you just never know when that connection is gonna spark, when you're talking to somebody and you find that common thread, and it just kind of leads to something more. So we host multiple networking events a month. I really want everyone to mark their calendars. If you're in like the Lynchburg area, we have our coffee talk, our first coffee talk of the new year, downtown at Nimble Merch, off of I think it's Church Street. I'm not sure about that. I got to check, but it's right off of it's Nimble Merch, and we're going to be downtown the last Friday of the month, so the 31st, and we're there from 8 to 10 a.m. And it's rolling. People hear 8 to 10 and they think, oh, I got to be there for 2 hours. You do not. You can come from 8 to 8:30. You can come from 8:30 to 8:45. Whatever works for you. You can come, grab some coffee, bring your business cards, pass them out, meet with people. Our first coffee talk of the year is usually a pretty good one because people are ready to get out and get rolling. So make sure you put that on your calendar. We do also have that Tuesday prior, which is the 27th. Sorry, 27th. We will have our coffee talk in Appomattox at the Appomattox Inn and Suites. So as you know, we're building our presence up in the Appomattox area. And so we'll have that one going on for those that maybe not able to make it to Lynchburg, but can head a few miles towards Appomattox. We'll be there as well. And then our very first Business Off the Clock is next Thursday. We've had a lot of people request that we do an evening networking event because they can't always get out in the mornings, whether it's you're getting kids to school, you've got things going on, you can't make it in the morning. So we're starting our first evening Business Off the Clock. So that is next Thursday from 5 to 6:30. And the host for the first month is us. We're going to be at the Central Virginia Business Coalition offices in Forest. We're really excited to be hosting the first one, getting people out and just networking. So put those on your calendar. Another big thing I want to mention is nominations are now open for our annual business awards. We will be having our annual business awards dinner February the 28th at the barn at Spring Rose Lane. here in Bedford, Huddleston area. And nominations are open now in about 7 different categories. So if you have a business that you would like to nominate, we have small business of the year, large business, retail business, service provider, a community service award, nonprofit of the year. I got more than that, and they're just escaping me at the moment. Rising Star, so a business that's been less than 2 years in business. Nominate them. It's free to nominate them. Heck, if you're listening, you can nominate yourself. You can go to our website, CVABC.org. And if you go under events, you'll see the information for that where you can go and nominate someone. We're accepting nominations for the next 2.5 weeks. And then we send out to all of the nominees. We'll send them out an applications they fill out and let us kind of know why they deserve to win, sort of stuff. So make sure you get that in so you don't risk forgetting. Do it now. Do it today, right now. Go. Okay. Well, that's kind of it. We got a lot of things coming up. I could talk for the whole show about all the things we have coming up the next 5 months, but I'm not going to bore y'all with that. What I want to do is introduce my first guest, and I am here with Chris Townsend. How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm good. And so you're here with the Madison House of the Arts, and Chris has been sending me in the last maybe month or so. They just kind of re-upped in the last month, and all the things that you keep sending me are just really cool. I mean, there's just a lot of things that I think people don't realize are happening in the area that you guys provide. And so I'm glad that you're on the show with me today so we can let people know what you guys have going on over there. But I want to kind of just start off with asking you, where you guys come from, a little bit of history of Madison House of the Arts.
Okay. Well, thank you for having me here. And this is a really cool studio, by the way.
Yeah, it is pretty cool. It changes every week. So you got to come back here because he has something new. Like every week I come here. Like I think that clock is new. Is that clock new? Mm-hmm. I knew it.
Yes, it is.
And these little follow us now on Facebook things are new. Anyway, sorry about that.
Very cool aesthetics. Well, the history of the house is before it became a nonprofit, it was in downtown. It was an underground independent art house. It was started by a woman named Carrie Robinson. She was doing kind of outreach on Madison Street that way, and allowing independent visual artists to come there. A lot of individuals from our homeless population were coming there. Oh, sorry about that. A lot of individuals from our homeless population were coming there to sell art, basically to make ends meet. And she kind of started a little movement that way that was community driven. When she left the area, we found an investor and just kind of made it more legit, but it took its own shape and really brought in a whole new group that was about serving the community through the arts. And I think over the last almost 4.5 years now, it's always evolving. And I think the arts will always be a part of it, but we've really become an outreach. And I think a lot of people don't realize that. They drive past our facility and they're like, wow, there's a really crazy, funky house. It's got tags and graffiti on the side of it, but they don't realize that inside we're doing a lot of outreach. And that's the beauty of it. What started as an underground art house has become a really widespread outreach in our community.
So I know with the kind of what you're saying, how, it does have some art to it, but then you're doing the outreach. Y'all are looking at doing a rebrand of the name. So the Madison House of the Arts, because I think a lot of people think it's just an art house. Yeah. What is that kind of looking like right now?
Well, it's crazy you ask because like today would be the first day if I say it, that I would say it publicly.
Oh, okay. Are we allowed to say it? Or are we waiting?
Well, we're working on a press kit.
Okay.
So
okay.
I will say it.
Ooh, let's say
I will say it. So if I say it, I have to give a brief explanation after I say it.
Perfect. Go for it.
All right. So drum roll. All right. So I will tell everybody it's not the most glamorous name, and I'm going to explain why. So when we launch the new name, will be later in the year. So we're going to be Madison House for a while, but we're going to be called the Clarity House.
Okay.
The reason we're doing that is because we feel like, what do you get when you have a meal? You have clarity. What do you have when you put on a new pair of clothes? You have confidence. You have clarity. What do you have when you're able to release a lot of thoughts that are kind of cluttered in your head and you're able to use visual arts to paint it out or do photography? you're allowed to have deeper clarity and,
Mm-hmm.
a better vision. So we've seen so many individuals come through our house and our community, and they leave there having better vision, more clear thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of that does come from our recovery vision as well. And that's what we do base things off of, is having that clear vision. And it gives us a more universal outreach instead of being boxed into just being labeled as an art house.
Awesome. I really actually like that. And I love the fact that it's so simple. And I know you said it doesn't sound very glamorous, but I think that's okay, because I think when people try and come up with these like really glamorous or, funky names,
Yeah.
it kind of loses what it's really supposed to be about. It loses like the mission. I think that ties in really well with what you guys are doing.
Well, thank you.
So I really love it.
Well, thank you.
Well, let's kind of jump into some of the events or some of the things that you guys do host there at the Madison House of the Arts, and what you have coming up that people can get involved with.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the Sober Bowl.
Okay.
I know you're getting ready to do your third annual Sober Bowl, and that was another thing I was thinking about when you were talking about the Clarity House. Is like you do offer people the opportunity if they're sober, and that's another thing. Like when you become sober, you get a little bit more clarity too. So
Yeah.
I love that. But I love the concept of the Sober Bowl. So let's chat about what is it, and how can people help out?
Okay. Well, Super Bowl, we started doing that 3 years ago. Basically, it sounds exactly what it is. It's a Super Bowl party that we allow individuals. It doesn't matter who you are. It's a free event. You come in. We have wings, pizza, food, and it's a sober event. It allows people from. Doesn't matter if you're just in Lynchburg City. It's for all of our communities. You come in, you watch the game for free. We have games. We have karaoke. This will be the first year we're doing a karaoke experience where you can pick a Super Bowl song from 1999 to present day. You sing. We're doing a cash prize for singles and for duets, and you have to stay for the game. So at the end of the game, we'll announce who wins. And what's been successful about it is it allows not only our regulars to come, that some of those individuals can't afford like wings and stuff like that on a regular basis, but allows them to have that experience. It allows people on our block that aren't able to watch the game because whether they don't have a streaming network or don't have cable, to come over and watch it. But it also allows us to feed them from what our community is able to donate to us. So as far as help goes, if you can donate a pizza, if you can donate prizes from your local business for us to do NFL trivia, or even like the karaoke stuff we're talking about, those things are valuable to those days, because those are individuals not only from downtown Lynchburg, but from, the outskirts, the rural communities. They come to us during that time to get food and to watch the games and stuff. And, like I said, our place is really built on community, and we like to share that community with other organizations. So if we can link them to you, then we want to do that, because we don't have everything and we don't claim to have everything. So that's a big part of the Sober Bowl as well, is networking, like you were saying earlier about doing that. So,
well, and I think too, when people think of Super Bowl, you think wings, pizza, beer, and football.
Yeah.
And a lot of these like larger restaurants that are, they've got all the games playing and whatnot. I would think for someone who is trying to, remain sober, and let's be honest, it's a journey. Like, it's not something you just, you sobered up and that's, you're going to stay that way. It's a journey. Like, it's hard for a lot of people. So it takes that off the table, being able to still come and enjoy all the other pieces to it and not feel the pressure of wanting to have a beer.
It does. And I think for a lot of people too, it's not just the sobriety aspect. There's a lot of individuals that are affected by just the smell of alcohol. There's a lot of people that grew up in households that, alcohol, just the smell of it was a trigger for trauma because of domestic violence, because of, abuse as being a child. So just being around alcohol is not good. One of the things kind of from the Sober Bowl, we're that's a springboard this year for us to work on a dry bar that we're creating.
That's what I was just getting ready to segue into. That's perfect. Yeah.
And, we were going to have our our launch of that this month, but we've decided to just keep it all in the spring for a few reasons, and I'll touch on that in a second. But you know, sober tourism is huge right now, and that's one of the things that we really want to bring to the city is sober tourism, because we feel like that is a market that's untapped in Lynchburg,
Mm-hmm.
and we want to build and network with other businesses and show them why that's important, because we feel that, like I said, with that being an untapped market, that that it's an avenue for not only for like churches, but for other faith-based organizations, but for other nonprofits to see the potential to reach people that are visiting our community to say, hey, we want to nurture you
Mm-hmm.
because you're just as important. Because we can give as much like art and all this stuff as we want to the city and to surrounding communities, but if we're always tying it to alcohol related events,
Yes.
then we're not nurturing our community, we're setting it back.
One of the things that I found, like when I used to work with other organizations prior to where I am now, some of those, like I was talking about doing the business, like the after hour events or some of the things like our annual dinners and stuff like that. It used to be where they would come and the business would have to supply alcohol. Like you'd have to have wine or beer or something. And I was never a huge fan of that because I did not feel like you needed to have alcohol for people to come and make business connections. And then my whole problem was like the liability when people left our event,
Absolutely.
and they're drinking. And I had at our annual dinner last year, I had someone come in and they were like, oh, is there a bar? And I told them no, we didn't do a cash bar at our event. And they looked at me like I had like three heads, and I was just like, we just don't do it. And so you know, you're right. A lot of people think that you have to have that to be able to have a good time, or and I try not to establish that at our events. We do have it for. We have the beer garden at Centerfest and things like that. That's festival. It's a little bit different, but just for after an evening networking event, it's not something we really
Right.
look at doing. So,
Well, it's not that I'm against it, all the bars and the breweries in Lynchburg or anything like that. I just feel like there needs to be alternatives and there needs to be more available, and I feel like there is a level of responsibility for, at least for tourism, to have those options there outside of like children's events for adults and for young people, because like I said, everything is tied to that. And there is a lot of young people out there that have substance abuse problems
mhm.
that they're masking because they were locked down for so long. They discovered drugs and alcohol while they were locked down. I've seen that firsthand. I've had those conversations. I have them today with a lot of these young people. And I can tell you that it's not that they don't want to go to these sober events. It's just that they've learned to function through
Right.
alcohol and drugs. So and a lot of it also comes down to educating them without trying to always um like try to convert them,
Right.
listening to them. That's the big thing. It's saying, why are you using this? Not all, they know the harms, they know it, they don't fully understand why they're using all the time. They don't understand the psychology of why they're using, why they're masking with this stuff.
Hmm.
And they need more empathy. So creating spaces where they can feel that they're accepted. And I'm not saying using there, but I'm saying understanding that they're being heard. And I'm not just talking about our young adults. I'm talking about older adults too, because I've seen older adults come into programs and not use for 4 hours, and they're like, "Man, I didn't use it all. I played drums. I paint. I did this. I did that." And the refreshing look on their face. Now, whatever they did when they left, I mean, I have no control over that.
Hmm.
But it's the look on their face of shock that they went that long.
Right.
It's a cool thing to see,
And I know that you had put on, you had talked to me about how, and you just kind of touched on it, that y'all aren't looking to be a place where they're converting, people don't have to worry
Yeah.
about you pushing religion or pushing politics or
Right.
pushing anything on them. It's just a safe space
Yeah.
for people to come and,
Yeah, because
get help.
sobriety is a choice. I mean, like anything in life is a change. I mean, like, and I mean, you could say that about, look at diets. We're in diet season right now, right?
Hmm.
Everybody's making that choice of like, hey, I want to lose weight, I want to do that. But again, change is a choice. If you want to do it, you have to take the steps. But where does that start? That starts with educating yourself in a way that makes sense to you. there's so many, using diets as an example, there's so many out there, but somebody might take a diet that worked for you
Mm-hmm.
that doesn't work for me, and they all fail.
Yeah.
Same thing with this principle. So we're not trying to convert anybody. So with a dry bar, when that launches in the spring and summer, and we're calling it the still, we're not there to be like, here's some material, go home, study this, whatever, you're going to get sober. I don't need to know your backstory. What I'm telling you is you're coming to a place that is the still. It's a place to be still, be with yourself, be with your friends, your family, your kids. Come there, enjoy an atmosphere where we're all imperfect. This isn't a perfect atmosphere. This isn't a high and mighty place. We want you to be present with you and enjoy the time that you're there. And we're growing. We're not perfect. We're not going to be like this. This is a beautiful aesthetic place. I wish we had this, but we're going to be a place that's growing. And we want to grow with our community. We want our community to invest into this place so that they can grow. If you can teach a skill and you can pass our background check, then by all means, step into a role in that bar, step into a role in our facility, because we want your skill set to be a part of what we're doing, because your wisdom is invaluable.
Mm-hmm. I will now forever call this diet season. I love that. Diet season. From January to March is no longer winter, it's diet season. Now let's talk about a couple of other offerings y'all have. I want to talk about like Bella's clothing store and the food pantry, the Leah's free food pantry that you have at the Madison House as well.
Yeah. So Bella's free community calls it free clothing store. We call it everything. Recently, over the last few months, I've made it a goal of mine to pass a lot of these free stores that we have over to our young adults, and they're managing them.
Okay.
Tori, one of our young adults, she is just starting to fully manage Bella's free clothing store, which is really awesome to see these early 20-somethings taking over these responsibilities and having their own visions for how they're run. All these stores are free. They're 100% free to our community. We rely on community donations. However, I will say this. We don't want everything. Please don't bring us everything. Please bring us seasonal items. So if we're in need of, like right now it's winter, we need winter items, socks, blankets, things like that. Spring, same thing, just spring items. But what we're doing with these young people is we're allowing them to set up their own stores within it so they can make money. So in the spring, when Tori's store's up, you'll be able to come in there and get some of her unique items that she's sewn together for herself. Same thing with Leah's food pantry. One of our young people, she's managing that. And then with the still, back to that, some of our young people are going to run little areas within that so they can make tips and make things like that, because we want our young people to stay off the street. We want our young people to make money. We want to teach them how to do business through these stores without making money off of these stores. So they're learning how to manage them, but also learning how to sell their own products through it too.
So with the food pantry, do you accept food as well? People can donate?
Absolutely. So Leah's food pantry is divided up into two places. So on Saturdays, 1 to 4 p.m., that's USDA food. That's through the Blue Ridge Area Food Bank. But then we also have their community food that's donated to us by all wonderful folks out there. And we give that stuff out all week. So anybody that drops that off, as long as it's not overly expired stuff, I won't do that to people. Obviously, I don't want, if I'm not going to eat it, then I'm not going to give it out. You'd be surprised. And I mean, I know the heart sometimes is in the right place, but if I get something that's 4.5 years old, I'm not going to give it out. And I get some of our seniors, you guys are beautiful, wonderful people, but they don't see the dates sometimes, and they give us that stuff. And I love them. I don't call them out for it. I just throw it away.
I get that. Yeah. It's amazing how long like canned goods and stuff stay good,
Well,
but then you forget about it and it's just.
Well, I'm talking about you. I'm talking about Yoo-Hoo. I've gotten a 4-year-old Yoo-Hoo, and let me tell you, this stuff turns clear.
Ew.
Or at least, I mean, it was just, and you got to pour it out because you can't put it in the trash can. Because again, we live very close to the homeless community, and I don't want anybody drinking clear Yoo-Hoo because I don't know what'll happen to somebody.
No,
It's superpowers.
I appreciate that. Thank you. So tell us a little bit now. I want to touch a little bit on the arts. Like I know you work with some, musicians and things like that. What does that kind of look like at the Madison House?
So right now, our main priority has been developing. I know in the past we've had a lot of free flow programming, which means what that means is you come in, and we kind of let you just do your own thing to just kind of exhale. This year we're doing that, but we're going into more structured programming. So we are going to really focus on, like I said, with the still, you'll have programs when you come in that are more mindfulness based art programs. On the surface, some people freak out when they hear the word mindfulness. It's not a religious based word. It's not. You're going to come in and you'll be centered with art projects that are fun, but they're allowing you to think about yourself, where you're not going to be like depressed. You're going to have fun, but you're going to empower yourself through those projects. You're going to see a lot more of those on our schedule. One of the things in the spring I'm really proud of is we're going to be doing more of our mindfulness photography walks. So, for instance, we're setting our price soon. You'll see it go up, but you're going to get a disposable camera. And for the exposures that are on there, you will go out for that many weeks. You'll be able to journal. You'll be able to take photos. And on a disposable camera, for those of you that don't know, you can't see the photos. So with your prompts and with your time that you're out there, you don't know what you're going to get. But at the very end of the course, we will develop them. And then you'll have a show based off of those photos, and you'll be able to discuss how you're feeling, your journal entries. You'll be able to go through that with people, but on how you're comfortable with doing that. And there's more to it than that, but programs like that. And if you do have visual art and you come there and you do that and you want to put it up on our walls and you want to promote it and have people come in and buy your work, we give all of our artists 100% of their proceeds. However, we do ask you in return that you just invite people to come out, tell them where we are, donate some food, donate some water, because that's a big program we have is our water program. We give out free water all the time. It's called Flow. And so donate water. That's a big deal for us. And that's the trade-off. We'll sell your stuff. You keep your money, but give us water in return, because a lot of people out there need water.
Well, I know that not this past year, it wasn't this past Centerfest. I think it was the year before. We had a group of young men from Madison House of the Arts come and perform for Centerfest.
Yeah.
And they were amazing. We had so many people that complimented them and their playing, and not just their playing, their respectfulness, just how they presented themselves in public at, an event as large as that. And we were really excited to be able to offer that to them. And they just were so happy to just be out there playing, and whether it was 5 people up there dancing or 20 people up there dancing. So I think offering this to the community and to those, to the young adults that maybe aren't necessarily going to get, maybe they don't have families that can afford guitar lessons and piano lessons and drum lessons. And, they just want to go out there and just have fun, just, jam out. I think that's really cool.
Yeah. And if you're painting in our facility and you make a mess, we're okay with it. We love messes. And we have a splatter art garage. We encourage people in the spring and summer, go out there, fling paint on canvases. We want your mess. We want you to have fun. We want you to know that it's okay, especially for those individuals that have dealt with, not being able to make a mess. It's okay. Have fun with it. Go with it. So, we want people to come there and know that we're building community, and that's what we want. And we want to build community with other nonprofits. We want to build community with other businesses. That was part of the reason, like I said, of the name change. We want to be more universal. We want to be more, have clarity with other people, share our vision, because think of it as like a box that's see-through. We want to be transparent and be open for everybody to join us. You don't have to join in all of our vision, but the one vision I know that we all do share is we want people to eat. We want people to have healthy lives. And that's the one thing where we can have our common ground, and we can get those tools and essentials for people. So
Now, you did mention, and I want to bring it up again in case anyone who's listening, you did mention like volunteering.
Mhm.
Um, what does that look like if someone is listening in and they're thinking, oh, I'd like to come volunteer. I'd like to spend an hour or two or, a Saturday, or how do they go about reaching out?
So anytime anybody wants to volunteer, they can either go to our website, which is mhota.org, and send us a request if they can't come out to the facility. They can come out any Saturday, 1 to 4 p.m. or in February 8th. I believe that's the date.
Yep, it is. I'm looking at the flyer.
Okay, cool. February 8th, 3 p.m. to 8 p.m. It's a fluid day. You don't have to be there all day. Stop by, bring a resume if you have one. If you don't have one, cool. Stop by, see us, meet us, talk to us. We'll have light refreshments. Like I said, it's a flowing day, in and out. Just come by and meet us. We want new volunteers, and we are going to. I probably, and hopefully I don't get in trouble for saying this, but like by end of spring, summer, we're probably gonna be adding on another board member. If you are serious and you have a resume and you have experience, that's key. Please send us your resume to our website. That's something that I would love. If you're interested and you feel like you can make a difference and you have compassion, send that to me. I want to see it. I want to add you on. I mean, obviously, there's some hoops there and some voting that would have to happen, but those are things we really are making changes on, because I want us to have longevity in our community,
Hmm.
um, and really develop over the next few years, just meaningful partnerships. I don't want us to just be floating.
Hmm.
I know that we can. Our food bank has grown 60% in the last few months, and that tells me a lot of what's going on in our community. So if it's growing like that, um, I really want us to implement other partnerships within our house, and continue to grow. So I'm open to meeting and having meetings with individuals. I don't care if you're a church. I don't care who you are. Let's just talk and
Hmm.
work together.
Yeah, I know that in the past couple of months since we've been able to kind of reconnect,
Mm.
for those listening, if you can't tell already, if you can't hear it in his voice, the passion that he has for what he's doing. And it's not that he's out here like doing some of the crazy, like, but you can genuinely hear, that a lot of thought has gone into what you guys are doing at Madison House of the Arts. And, you know, he's very passionate about it, and the programs that they're bringing, and the initiatives that they're trying to build up in our area, I think are very important. And again, are some things that are very needed and are not being provided, by other places. But it also kind of lean into what you were just saying. There's a lot of collaboration that you can do with others. And I think, people think, oh, there's so many nonprofits. There are a lot of nonprofits, but there are a lot of nonprofits that can do things together. Or, you may be able to take clothing here and food there, whatever. Don't limit yourself to just one. Learn about all of the nonprofits we have in our area. And, kind of pick a new one each month. Do something with a different person. Um, so hopefully, if you're listening in, and I'm going to get Chris, if you'll tell us again, where you guys are located, website, phone, what's the best way for people to contact?
Yeah, if you want to, reach us, you can reach us on mhota.org. All of our socials are connected to that, so you can find our socials on there. You can always reach us at 434-382-7720. We're located on Madison Street. And right now, during the day, before 5 o'clock, it's chaotic down there. They're ripping all the water pipes out. So just to let you know, um, it's 607 Madison Street. It's off of 5th Street. But after 5 p.m., you're golden to come down there. Don't let that road closed sign fool you. They just don't take it down after 5 p.m. I'm not trying to take you on a Dukes of Hazzard ride. You'll be good and golden. You can park in front of our facility, or there's a parking lot directly across the street. We have permission for anybody to park there if they want to. It's free. Um, and please believe what I'm going to tell you. Despite everything that happens downtown, we are in a safe area. We get asked that a lot, um, and I think this goes with anywhere downtown. Just be mindful of where you are. Be present where you are. Um, you know, if you want somebody to meet you at your car and walk you to the facility, we will. If you want us to walk you to your car, we will. We do that for people. But that is a genuine concern we get asked because of where we are. We get asked that by parents. We get asked that by adults. Last night we had a recovery group. I had 2 women come. That was the first question they asked me is, can I walk them to their car? And I said, sure. It's late. Everybody has uncertainty. So just know that if you have any questions about the neighborhood, don't make an assumption. Most of the people that are on our block are senior citizens. So please ask us. Let me talk to you. Don't make an assumption.
That's awesome. And probably a good thing to put out there because I know a lot of people do think
there's a lot of history to
downtown. Yeah,
a lot of history and a lot of things are still a lot of stigma attached to it. And I just wish that there would be more education. Again, a lot of people would ask as opposed to living in the past. And it doesn't help when there are murders. But again, not on our street, but when things are happening, I wish people would just talk to us a little bit more about that stuff.
Well, if you're listening in and you forget, and I'll just go ahead, it's mhota.org. You can also go, if you go to our CVABC.org website and look under our member directory under nonprofits, you'll find their information there as well. So for some reason you don't remember the MHOTA and you're like, oh, I need to, check that out. You can go to our website and get that information there. Another thing I will mention, and I don't mention this often, but if you do not receive our weekly newsletter, the Central Virginia Business Coalition puts out a weekly newsletter that not only has like the events that I talk about at the beginning, but our members can put in flyers about things they have going on, promotions and events. And Chris does a great job of sending me the ones for Madison House of the Arts so that you're able to see what they have coming up and kind of what their needs are. All you have to do is contact me at heather@cvabc.org and ask me to add you to our newsletter list. And you'll be able to see all of that information as well every week. And, that way you can kind of know, maybe what they have coming up or what their needs may be. Because if I hadn't have seen, this flyer, I wouldn't have known, hey, there's a volunteer thing happening on the 8th. But yeah, so definitely look into that. Before we go, and thank you so much for coming on the show with me. Normally Mike asks a question to all of our guests. So I will be putting on my best Mike voice and asking the question herself. So how long have you been a member of the CVABC?
A couple months now, but I was prior to that. I was a full,
a year? Yeah. So I would say about a year with a little bit of a gap and now the last couple months. Yeah. And then what have you found or are you most looking forward to like benefit wise? Like that, what are kind of some of the better benefits?
Networking and growing with other businesses. I really, that's my goal for this year is to really build meaningful partnerships, long lasting. And I really hope to do that because I want other people's guidance, wisdom, and growth with them. That's what I want.
Awesome. Thank you again for coming on. Listeners, please check it out. MHOTA.org. See what there is coming up that you can help with. Donate a pizza, donate some water.
Please do.
Donate, some wings. We would love to have your help and support for this organization. We are going to cut to a quick commercial and then Woody and I'll be back to chat a little bit about some marketing. Today's podcast is brought to you by Omega Disaster Restoration, located in Campbell County, Virginia. Omega specializes in water, fire, and smoke damage restoration, as well as mold remediation. Their region includes Central and Southwest Virginia, which spans a vast service area from Blacksburg to Charlottesville and Stanton to Danville.
In addition to disaster restoration and full-service reconstruction and remodeling, Omega is proud to offer custom all-wood cabinets through their Hanover Woodworking Studio, custom countertops via their Top Solution Studio, and dumpster services through Old Dominion Dumpsters, all part of the Omega family of brands. A beautiful showroom is currently under construction at their Exchange Drive location and will be soon open to the public, showcasing their diverse offerings.
Customers can call 434-616-4659 for emergency assistance with water, fire, smoke damage, or mold remediation needs. Omega provides 24/7 emergency response, ensuring that help is always available. Locally owned and not a franchise, Omega is your first and last call in any emergency, restoring your home or business from beginning to end. For more information about Omega Disaster Restoration and their comprehensive services, please visit omegadisasterrestoration.com/VA/Lynchburg.
Well, welcome back. This is the Woody Show. Oh, Heather's back.
I'm back. No, I was really glad Chris could come in because they've got some really great.
Can I tell you a quick story about Madison House?
Yeah.
All right. So I didn't tell Chris when he was here because he does such a great job. All right. So years ago, I was doing a video for the Lynchburg City about all the arts, the art district, right?
Okay.
And so they sent me a spreadsheet of all, everybody, because it was for a grant, right? They got a grant. And they wanted to, we interviewed the mayor and all the town manager, all that stuff. So I saw Madison House of the Arts. And I'm like, I don't know this place. And they sent me a spreadsheet. And then I go to all the places. And the place that stuck out the most to me, and I'm not knocking the other ones. I'm just saying I did not know what to expect. Never been there. Never heard. Like I just live in a bubble. And I went there and filmed. And I'm not exaggerating telling you this. It was the nicest vibe. He was the nicest guy. The people there, they were playing music, the art there, the vibe there. It was absolutely wonderful and stuck with me after I left.
That's awesome.
It is amazing. So I'm just like, when he come in today, I was like, oh man, it was an instant, great, fantastic memory of filming there.
Well, I think that a lot of people don't know about their organization, and I know that's one thing Chris is really trying hard.
Yes.
This year to do is get out there.
They did great work. It was amazing walking in, seeing the people. They were just like everything that he said was true. Like when you walk in and the vibe that they're trying, and they had even staged some stuff for me to film, and they had like a fire pit in the backyard, and the house is just cool. Like you go there and it's just got this cool vibe. And to see that in Lynchburg was just so like, man, you don't feel like you're in Lynchburg. And I do. I hope people check them out because they deserve it. They do great work.
That's awesome. Yeah, no, I do. If you're listening in, definitely go check them out. I'm really hoping that the CVABC itself can partner with them on some things this year.
Yeah.
I think that would be really great. Or even, some of our other businesses would love to see them partner up with them, or at the very least, make a donation or take, it's not go by Little Caesars, grab a couple $5 pizzas and swing them by there.
Go follow them on Instagram, like something simple like that. And I know that it's kind of a special circumstance that sometimes I just get to go film random places, but like there are a ton of these like organizations in the areas that you just need to check out. Really?
Yeah.
There are so many that it will blow you away. Like I guarantee you, if you contact him and say, hey, I just want to check out y'all's place, they would love that. They love showcasing that stuff.
Well, and I think that's like, you hear about nonprofits, and then this will kind of segue into some marketing, I guess. But, a lot of your bigger nonprofits, Meals on Wheels, Big Brothers, Big Sisters, the food banks, all of those places. We know about them. They're out there. They're definitely in need of funds and in need of donations and those sort of things as well. But there are so many smaller nonprofits that exist too, and it's kind of why I was pushing for people to check something new out. Like, Love Heals, they've been on. They're a great nonprofit.
Yeah.
518. There's so many I could talk about, but you're right. There are so many that people just really don't have any idea, and they're barely making it by trying to help and support, their initiatives.
And they're people of this community living in this community, and they see a need, and they literally it was one of those places. It really stuck with me. And I went to a lot to film, and the other ones, again, I'm not knocking them. All of them are great. Everybody has a mission, but that one stuck out to me. The vibe, and if you're the person that there are people that would definitely benefit from that. And I feel like if you're listening to this and you're just kind of like, oh man, it sounds neat. It is. And you need to check it out. So,
yeah. So rolling into 2025.
Let's roll into we're in it.
Mark, we're here. I'm not thrilled though. I mean, I saw something yesterday. It was like, I've got a 15-day subscription and I want to cancel.
Yep. Can I get
this
refund?
Winter weather. Autumn and I were talking yesterday, and I think next week there's one day it gets to like a low of 2.
Stop.
I'm done. Like, I do not want to be any part of that. But yeah, so rolling into 2025, what are you seeing or what are you thinking are going to be some of like the bigger marketing trends for this year? Or what should businesses kind of be looking at going into 2025? Will TikTok go dark?
I don't know.
That's what I want.
I don't know. I saw a trend. It's been happening over the last couple of years, but like there are definite spikes that you see, right? Because when we do handle a lot of content, a lot of social media pages, and a lot of paid media, and all that, and so I literally see the bar graphs that happen, and I think an even bigger trend that's going to happen this year is organic content. I think for businesses to really, it's just like Chris and that organization, your organization, in order for people to know what you're doing, you've got to show them and you've got to go where they look. And back in the day, it used to be enough to make some, really pretty graphics and post twice a week. And, you pull out a press release and that used to be great. Now it's a constant flow of content.
So what you're saying is I should bring back Where's Heather Wednesday?
You should. I honestly, it's like you would be blown away at in my own field research, right? And this is in my own. Like, I love making pretty little graphics. I love doing my little retro stuff. I love that. You know how many likes I get on that stuff compared to when we post pictures of us out in the field taking, getting reels and all that stuff. It is insanely, it's insane different, the insights of organic, like purposeful content that people want to connect to, because we're sold stuff all the time. And trust me, I make commercials that do nothing but sell and they all have their place. But if you're a small business or medium-sized business and you just listen, I don't know where to start. That's step one. You just got to show people. You've got to show people what you do and be a constant champion for it. And networking and doing stuff like this is absolutely part of it. But I think the trend will grow this year. I think people are becoming a little numb to being shown so many ads that they want real.
Well, that's the other thing. Yeah, that's what I was kind of thinking too. I think people are also tired of being scammed.
Oh God, yeah.
Or not knowing if something is real.
Exactly.
And I think by showing more organic and actually being out there, like, so for me, being out in the field, talking to businesses, talking to them about what they're offering, it's more tangible. It's more something they can see and interact with versus like, somebody putting up a post like, oh yeah, we're going to do this. Call us at this number or, download this, whatever. And people are like, yeah, no,
but don't get
not
me
doing that.
And don't get me wrong. I mean, some of that stuff, you've got to get information out, and that's part of your presence online. But I can tell you, and you probably have seen this too, that when we go to coffee talks and take pictures and post pictures of that, people actually see the vibe there. People see people there networking, and it has a different feel to if I just posted a poster every time. So right. Yes, of course you've got to disperse information, but you've got to show people what you're doing for them to know. And then where are they going? Instagram, Facebook, hopefully TikTok will stay around, but I just do not know.
That's what I need. That's what I need you guys to do.
Yeah.
This week. Well, no, seriously though, I ought to get you guys to do a quick reel about like with our past coffee talks to promote one it's happening.
We did
on the 31st.
Well, you had a last round of coffee talks late in the year, and Jamie and Caitlin then went to them, and I can tell you the response that we get on our side by posting content or y'all's content and everything. It just is. It's the numbers are just so different, and people actually like it, share it, and all the good stuff, all that you want. So it's like over the last 2 years and over the last year specifically. That's why for our clients and our kind of focus, yes, of course we do graphic design and all the stuff that you need to have and TV commercials, but really that's why we are so adamant about getting content. And we're going out there every week, getting content for clients, like right now, they're probably in an attic right now, filming an HVAC install for Browns. And then they're going to a perimeter this, and then they're going to a Boone for that. And it's just the day that we live in. You need that for an organization. So it's like that's a trend that people need to be aware of this year. If you're not active on social media, you got to be.
What are your thoughts on like going live? Like I used to do.
Oh yeah.
So two things. Yeah. Two things. I used to do like just live. Like, I'd just go live. Like, I'll just be like, hey, guys, it's just Heather. I'm just calling to let you know. Not calling, but I'm just getting on here to let you know, like, here's what's coming up. Like, this is what's happening. Do you feel like that's better than just throwing up a graphic that says Coffee Talks next week?
It's like doing a podcast, right? Like, I mean, you've got to think about, one, live is really, truly the most organic content you can produce, right? Like, it's not polished. It's not edited. It's you live in the moment. And how many times, it's like you go back in time to what is like one of the most significant live events that we've ever seen. It's like the OJ in the Bronco, and like we love live stuff. So like on social media, you've got to get past the discomfort, right? Like you got to get past it. And the good thing about live is not only are you in the moment and people that are scrolling, the algorithms absolutely love it, but it's not wasted content. Like that is something you did that's stored there, and you're in the moment, you're everything, all the good stuff. And yes, so algorithms love that.
I think that's the one good thing about me is I really have no, like I do whatever.
You gotta do it. Well, you're great at networking.
I'm not worried about.
You're great at it.
Well, even just doing funny or silly stuff that most people would not get on and do. Like I'll go out of my comfort zone for things, or even just in public. Like I embarrass my kids constantly. Like I'll be dancing. I think Autumn put up this thing a while back where I dressed in a Squishmallow costume and danced around in the middle of Target to make my granddaughter laugh. And she's just like, I can't believe you're sitting here doing this where people are watching you. And I'm like, because why? I mean, I don't care what they think. Like
everybody has an opinion.
You know what's happening? My baby's laughing, my grandbaby's laughing, and I'm making a memory.
And I'm having fun.
And that's what's happening.
That's right. And you're watching it.
Yeah.
Aha.
Yeah. So another thing I was thinking, aside from like the going lives, and I've mentioned bringing this back, and I really want to do it for 2025. Yeah. So when COVID hit, and we could not go out and network, we couldn't publicly network and come here to the studio. I hosted those live stream like coffee chats where I'd have a business come on with me and we'd do like an online interview and stream it. What are your thoughts on that? Is that something you would also think would be...
I think the more the
good, because it's better.
I don't think there's any like adverse thing to getting more of what you do out there.
Yeah.
I think that there are so many screens and avenues that people go to for information that you've got to be on as many of them as possible. And that's why, like, when I tell people to market and what's your budget and all this stuff, it is really important because you go down the list of screens, right? So, I mean, you're on your phone most of the day, then you're on your computer when you work, and you might watch a little streaming TV, but then you see billboards, then you listen to a podcast, right? So, I mean, it's like all these avenues that you've kind of got to, and then never mind, there's an algorithm at play, right?
Right.
So anything that gets you out there, and especially when you're networking with like you said, like you talk to another business and they're talking with you on there, and you can kind of cross promote, the better, because you're reaching different audiences that way.
Right.
You're not reaching the same people over and over and over that already know your stuff and love you and support you. You really, that's the goal. You want to kind of get get the web out.
Now, I know a lot of people get concerned about whether they should or shouldn't pay for ads, things like that. What are your thoughts on that going into
I think, listen,
the new year?
People are not going to want to hear it. You got to pay to play now.
Yeah.
I feel like, yes, you do as much as you can organically. Obviously, you post as much, let people know your mission, let people know what you do, get it out there, be yourself so they know your vibe and all that good stuff. But unfortunately, in today's age, I think in order to reach certain audiences, especially if you're another business trying to be heard in a sea of everybody, it doesn't hurt. I mean, honestly, but with that said, there's so many avenues that are affordable now. Like, I mean, you can boost a post on Facebook and get a bunch of likes and all that, or streaming TV. Gosh, we put commercials on there and, they're like, what, $2.20 a spot. I mean, you can get a ton of exposure that way. So there are absolutely affordable avenues, but I think on certain occasions it calls for that, and you need to work that into a budget. I think you've got to pay nowadays if you're a business. I just don't think it hurts. I think you have to, unfortunately.
Yeah. So what is going on with Media Squatch? Like, what's up? What's some new things you have like in the pipeline aside from the massive Bigfoot head and feet and stuff that are
I have a
here in
problem.
the office.
I
but
have a problem.
Yeah,
I have a
you-
Bigfoot problem.
you do.
I think I do. So, no, we've got a lot planned this year, right? Like, I mean, last year was such a whirlwind. And I'm going to be honest with you, because we hired 2, 3 people last year. Got a content wrangler. I would start just, you see trends and you have to stay ahead of it. And I've always, that's why we're kind of doing what we do now. We've shifted. Like, our primary focus is getting content for people and being, back in the day, you could plan a campaign for 6 months and stick to it, and you have a mood board and everything else. But today's age, like, how it is. You need to call me today. We handle it. We get it posted. We work on it. So there's like there's a speed that needs to be done, right? And then there's all these jobs going on that people need to post, but usually they don't have an in-house marketing team, and that's kind of where we come in. We have a team that goes out, bam, 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 does our thing. My personal goal for Media Squatch in 2025, number one, is to do an even better job and keep our current clients happy and out there and get your message heard. That is top priority, because the landscape changes. All these platforms changes. I don't know. TikTok might go away and another one will pop up. We got to stay ahead. Right.
Yeah.
So getting your message out is priority number one. Priority two is I'm trying to do a better job of showcasing what we do. Right. And showcasing for our clients, like, hey, this is what we do. We get content, everything. And my own creative side, my goal for this year is to absolutely produce more original content. Like, that is why I even I picked up a camera 20 years ago, is to do short films. And my goal is to do original stuff. And like, if a client wants to sponsor that, then there's another form of advertising. But yeah, I want to be original and then segue that over into my client stuff. So
That's cool.
we got so many goals.
Yeah.
Goals.
I feel like, yeah.
And more Squatch stuff never hurts.
Yeah, we have a lot of goals. I mean, I feel like we're doing a lot of the same, like with events and things like that. But I want my goal for this year is to incorporate smaller, more, smaller beneficial things that
we always say
use.
hyper local, hyper. You gotta be hyper intentional.
We know we're starting a new member to member like discount program so that our members can work together with each other.
Yeah.
Potentially having, discounted rates for that. And I think that may be something that's going to take off. Because for one, that's going to give each business.
Yeah.
But then it also shows an ROI on why are you doing, why are you a member of the CVABC? Well, I'm doing business with other members, and it shows because people are contacting me, saying, hey, I'm a member. I want to use my discount. So yeah, they're maybe using their discount, but you're getting the business.
Oh my, and I know from my side, right? From a business that does business with you, right? The amount of referrals and tags on social media that you get for being a member and networking, I don't know why you wouldn't be. A member. I really don't. Like, it's like such a no brainer to me. Like, and trust me, from the introvert king over here, like, just the amount of people that even on social media alone, when somebody drops a question online or whatever, I automatically see you and 15 other members of the CVABC tagging each other.
Yep.
Right. And so it's just honestly, any networking event and anything like that, and just as much as people hate social media, like, that's what it is.
It always gives me like a warm fuzzy when I do, like, you see people put in there like, hey, I have this recommendation page. Like, I need the help with this. And I'll go there. And before I can even post, I see all of our members tagging others and helping in that way. And it really is nice to see. And, even the members that we have that have posted that, hey, we may have to go out of business soon if we don't get help. And seeing people rally around them too, which, let me just say, that doesn't mean rally once, friends. It doesn't mean like the one time you go in there, like, oh, they say it and you stop. Oh, let me go shop there. Yeah. And then you wait till next year and do it again. No. It's got to be it's got to be a constant. You've got to, in the back of your mind, if you can. Now, I'm not saying, again, I don't know what your financial situation is, so I can't tell you, yes, go do it all the time. But I push and I push and I push the whole supporting local as much as possible, because, when you see these types of posts, it breaks my heart when I realize that they're not, they're not joking. Like they're going to have to close their doors. They're trying to support their families. And so the more that we can support, the better. Eat at local restaurants. Shop in local stores.
You don't want to be the best kept secret.
Yeah, check
really
the artisans. Yeah, I know. I always see people talking like you'll see somebody going, "Oh no, don't tell people where the secret spot is." Tell people where the secret spot is, friends. They need help.
And you probably have encountered this more than anybody. Like when somebody posts or they're going out of business, usually it's like, "Well, I didn't know anything about them. I had heard about them," and it's like that's
so often.
That's where it's like you can't fault because honestly. 90% of small business owners are everything. I know I'm an accountant, HR, maintenance, everything, right? So I get but that is again where organizations like the CVABC and marketing really come in handy because and when I say marketing, I don't mean you need a $40,000 TV commercial and spend tons of money. I mean, just as something's like me and Heather are talking, like just posting constantly on social media. Like what do you do? So people know about you. So we can, you can get the word out. Because how many businesses have done that in the last 3 months, right?
A lot.
There was a wave of and then the first comment on all of them, well, I didn't know y'all were down there. I didn't know.
And, that's one thing I tell people because I've gotten this a lot when I'll see a new business, say they're opening up, hey, we're a new business. We're in the area. Come see us. And I'll reach out and I'll say, hey, I'm Heather. I'm with the Central Virginia Business Coalition. Would love to come chat with you. Would love to tell you more about who we are and what we do. And either they just don't even bother to answer me. Like, okay. And they may think I'm just a scammer. I'm just, whatever. But even the ones that I go out and talk to that then they're just like, well, I think we'll be okay. I don't think we need any help, And then 6 or 7 months down the road, they closed because nobody knew where they were. And I'm not going to say just because you joined the CVABC, that means you're automatically going to be like the biggest store ever. No, because again, some of our members have been those ones posting that they need, that they need to get more business. And we've actively tried to work with them on, hey, how can we keep, working with you? What can we do? What can we do? But don't just kind of shake it off. Don't brush off the help if, there's a potential, because even for us, if you pay that $200, that's, our 12-month membership, it's $200. You can break that into a monthly payment of $18.67 a month. So it's pretty doable.
Yep.
Even having that though, and the support that potentially you could get if you choose to use it. And I say it that way because, and I'm not talking about just us, I'm talking about any form of marketing. You can purchase anything. But you actually have to implement it. You have to use it. You have to, find out more about, what comes with your benefits or what are you paying Woody for if he's coming in and helping you with your website or what, you have to actively be involved as well. It's not something where you can just, okay, here's $200. I'll see you in a year. Hope you do, hope something happens.
Yep.
You have to actively engage as well.
And you got to be a part of it. Like, I found that out firsthand by having team members start to go to coffee talks and networking and getting our name out there more. Because I'm tied down 90% of the time to actually editing and stuff like that and to have team members. And it is so important. And that's why as a business, you need to utilize this because there are so many opportunities. I know how many opportunities you send us to post. Right? Or to add up, whatever. And there are so many out there that if you just take advantage of it and you meet the right person and then all of a sudden you're in their brain and then they follow you on Facebook and Instagram. Oh yeah, so-and-so does that. Contact that. I can't tell you that is how most all of my referrals have come from that alone.
Yeah.
Got to do it, y'all. Got to do it.
Got to do it.
Got to do it.
Well, hopefully if you're out there listening and you're not a member, and I know you're out there. I know there's some of you that listen in each week and you're not a member and hopefully maybe you've thought about it. You've listened to us talk. Make 2025 the year you do it. Join us. Be a part of the Central Virginia Business Coalition. We are a family like none other that I've ever seen. And I truly can say that. Our members really do rally around each other and the businesses in our community and the events that we have going on. And I'm really, really proud to be the executive director, but to also be friends and support systems for our members. That's just, I'm very proud of that.
Yep.
And so make this year your year. Check us out. You can go to our website. It's cvabc.org. You can join right from there. You can set it up whether you're paying it in full or you're paying it monthly. Or you can contact me. We can set up a member meeting so I can come and actually go over everything with you before you make those decisions. But yeah, make that kind of your goal for 2025 is to look into your marketing, look into what you're doing, whether it's using the CVABC, whether it's reaching out to Media Squatch or someone else in our area. See what's going to work best for your business.
Just do it
and implement it, and take control. We hope to see our small businesses growing this year. And if you need any more information, like I said, about the CVABC, about Media Squatch, or about our guest today at Madison House of the Arts, go to cvabc.org. Thank you guys so much for tuning in this week. We'll see you next Wednesday.